Oh, back in the room.
Back in the room. Dans la chambre.
Dans la chambre, indeed, mon frère. So let's go to a place where the distractions and landmarks and the detours are on the main road. So welcome to ADHDville.
Go. Here we go. Meet the gang. The boys are here. Meet the gang. Meet the gang. The boys are here. Boys to entertain you! Exclamation mark.
Oh dear, wow.
Exclamation. Hello, I'm Paul Thompson, and I was diagnosed with the combined ADH and a D again, dragging towards 3 million years ago.
Yeah, uno, dos, tres.
Dos, tres.
Yeah, and I'm Martin West, and I was officially diagnosed with the combined ADHD poo-poo platter in 2013, and undiagnosed autistic. And we are the mayors of ADHDville.
Oh,
the ex-mayors of ADHDville, I should say. And we are hanging out at the King's Agitated Head pub in ADHDville, where we're sitting at the back, having a drink, taking care of business.
Yes. This week's business. What is this week's business, Martin? Let's tell our people.
Right, because it's your subject this week, so
it is.
You should do the honours, mate.
It's Otrovertism. Otrovertism. How do you pronounce it? Otrovertism.
Yeah.
Which we'll explain in a second what that is.
Right.
And I suggest Martin, that we go to the coffee shop and talk about this stuff. Otrovertism.
Right. Well, let's jump in the tractor, which I have cleaned and buffed and polished.
Buffed?
Yeah,
buffed. I like a good buffing.
Right. I do have a sort of a handheld sort of buffing.
Do you? Like a drill? Mechanical?
Well, it has a big buffing pad on the end.
Oh, okay.
And
what do you buff?
I buff
other than tractors.
You can buff people.
Is that some kind of fetish?
No. It's like some kind of like physiotherapy tool. Like you can like to kind of like it just vibrates your muscles and your entire
okay, got it.
System kind of.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Is that what Buffy the Vampire is about?
That's what she does. That is the entire show. She spends about 23 seasons going around buffing vampires. Yeah,
that's niche.
It is. All right. Well, let's get onto your niche subject, Otrovism.
Yes, Otrovertism.
What's it all about, mate? What's it all about?
I'm glad you asked, Martin. Well, in a single sentence, Otrovertism is an emerging personality concept describing socially capable, empathetic individuals who naturally function as independent thinkers, Martin, and external kind of outsiders, feeling no inherent need or desire to conform to or derive their identity from social groups and trends. Basically what, in an even shorter version, there is a difference between introverted and extroverted. You can be extroverted but not feel like you're part of the gang at the same time.
Right.
You're not maybe into kind of like the group dynamic, which by chance I fall into in a big way. If there was a bucket with Otrovertism written on the side, and it'd be like full of me.
Full of you in a bucket?
Full of me in a bucket. Or would it, Martin? Would you be in a bucket as well?
I don't know, because honestly, I've not had the brain capacity to do much in the way of research. But I will say that it's a new personality. What I found out is that it's a new
Yes.
personality trait, which is been coined by Dr. Rami Kaminsky.
Yeah. In 1925, so last year, so pretty recent.
Yeah. So it's not like a science. It's not as well established as you would say, like an introvert or an extrovert, which is like more like Carl Jung era.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a new interesting little personality type, which obviously speaks to you, Paul. So you were like, "Oh, this sounds
Definitely.
like me. This sounds
I
like
think
me."
it speaks to a lot of people because he called his book on this subject. He called it "The Gift of Not Belonging." The gift of not belonging is because we it literally just came to mind just now. There's a term people pleasing. Okay,
Right? Yes.
there's a positive element of not being a people pleaser. There's also a positive element to not being a group person because you don't feel like you have to conform to a group,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in a classic way, if you're part of a group of colleagues at work, generally people, your colleagues, if they're not neurodiverse, they might feel the need to find some kind of um, an agreement, even if that agreement was heavily tinged with a compromise.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas neurotypical persons will feel feel more fearless about having their own opinions
Oh.
and sticking to them potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So he calls it the gift of not belonging, which is a really nice provocation.
Right. So, I mean, just going back to the groups, as far as I can work out, this is just broad strokes. There are introverts, which we normally associate with recharging alone, but
Hmm.
can feel deeply connected to a group.
Yes.
There are extroverts who gain energy from groups, um,
Yes.
and feel most themselves in a crowd,
Yes.
if you like. There are
Yes.
ambiverts,
Hmm.
which switch between both of those modes,
Hmm.
all depending on context. And then there's the outroverts, which, as you say, which
Yeah.
remain emotionally and psychologically separate,
Yes.
regardless of the settings. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's like outside of a group, outside of
Yeah.
whatever's going on.
But
You know, that,
so maybe for a neurotypical person, they might feel deep discomfort with not aligning themselves within a group.
right.
But that's not necessarily where the best ideas come from. Okay,
I see.
and ideas is like you don't have to be in the creative industry to be. An idea might be working in a supermarket and coming up with a new way of stacking shelves.
Right.
It could be
Mm-hmm.
creativity has many faces,
Yeah.
and therefore ideas can come from anywhere.
All right. So you're. I think what you're saying is, and you're probably coming at this from like from an artist or a creator point of view, which is there is there's an advantage being
Hmm,
not feeling like or following what everyone else
exactly.
is doing, and you're kind of like on the outside looking in, and you have a different have a different perspective, a different take
Right,
on what's.
exactly. Just thinking outside the box, but not just just put it into context with a kind of area that maybe isn't my particular expertise, but it could apply to if you were a team of salesmen, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to come up with some ideas about how to find new clients. It would be useful to have someone that maybe wasn't necessarily doesn't go into a crisis if they're not conforming to a group dynamic.
Right. And
Because
actually,
a lot of group dynamics, therefore meetings. There you go, meetings.
love them.
Most meetings are about potentially spreading out responsibility when a project goes tits up, right?
Awesome. Yes.
It's spreading out responsibility, and rarely about actually being useful.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, like I've been in my fair share of
Oh God, yeah.
thousand sort of meetings where you're all getting consent. You're all getting consent
There you go.
from each other for where you're going, so that
Yeah,
actually when I mean, like, when things succeed, okay, well, you all succeed, but then when you
mhm,
fail, you all fail. So you kind of like
exactly.
sort of you're very much in this sort of weird group, and you never really kind of like it isn't ever really all your fault, and it isn't ever really all your success either.
Right.
Kind of in
Yeah,
this little soup of
yeah. It's a
yeah.
bit like a classic thing when there are people out there who are experts at training executives, directors, people like that. That kind of
Mm-hmm.
role in a company, and they always say when these directors they talk about success, they always in terms of me. Okay,
Right.
when they talk about failure within a company, they talk about in terms of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So there's always that dynamic, and people sniff it out. Also, if you're neurodiverse like we are, you're sitting in those meetings, and you can see that you're using or we are using our pattern recognition and thinking, so we don't actually need this meeting, do we? What if you do your work, Martin?
Oh yeah.
I'll do mine. She does her work, and she does her work, and he does his work. Actually, we don't need this meeting,
Yeah.
and then we just say, oh, let's just trust everyone to do their job.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's go on.
No, yeah, but it's interesting. I think I one thing that came to mind when I first read about this, I think it was about 4 or 5 months ago that I came across it. Not literally, I just
Mm-hmm.
it fell on my lap, electronically, as it were, digitally.
Right.
This word, and I tend to be skeptical about when someone says, "Oh, are you introverted or extroverted?" Say, "Oof." I'm always skeptical about making a polarized choice
Right.
because I flip flop. I can be really extroverted and really introverted.
Oh, so you were more ambivert then? Were you flip
I
between one and the
But
other?
I'm quite happily. I can, yes, generally, but I can quite happily not, especially post diagnosis from ADHD. I'm more likely to accept being otroverted.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So that one's
I'm more
spoke to you.
comfortable in my skin as
You
it
know what?
exists now.
It's weird because before the I think before the pandemic, probably I would have had myself as an introvert. I would have said that I was an introvert. That's who I was.
Yeah, but
And
I've known
actually,
you for 40 years,
40
and
years, man and
40
boy.
years, man and boy, and I know that you can be extroverted as well.
Right.
I
And I,
know the extroverted version of Martin. I've
right.
seen him. I've fucking seen him.
Being large and
Oh,
in charge. You
yeah,
know what? Yeah, because like that was the biggest revelation from me was like, oh, actually I am way more extrovert than I had previously
yeah.
thought of myself. So yeah, that part of me does enjoy kind of groups and doing things in a
Mm-hmm.
group. That would be my preferred mode. Would be me,
Mm-hmm.
group of friends. We'll go out. We do something. We're drinking,
Mm-hmm.
drinking wine by the pool or whatever is.
But at the same time, do you find safety in groups? You can be in a group, but do you find safety in it?
Yeah. I can remember, this is something I've never told anyone this, I don't think. Not that it's kind of like anything hidden, it's just weird. I think when I was about, I don't know, 11, maybe,
Okay.
I had a dream. And the dream was
I
that
had a dream.
it was World War II
Really?
in like Africa or somewhere,
Of
like
course.
out in the sort of, like in the like there's sand everywhere. And
My granddad fought in the war as a teenager in Africa. In a yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
um,
So he did
uh,
it.
wow, I just did it in my dream.
Jeez.
In my dream, and I was part of a tank crew, right? So there was like
Right,
me and I don't know 3 or 4 other guys, and we were just like the crew of this tank.
right.
And when I woke up, I mean, we didn't do anything. I that was just like kind of like just being plopped into this scenario of me and a crew and a tank, and I went, oh man, like there was such a sense of like bonded team,
Really?
people,
Oh, that's
group,
interesting.
purpose. I was like, that's what I want. I want that feeling, but I don't have to kind of go back to World War II and get in a tank to
Yeah.
kind of get that. But I really liked
Well, yeah,
that
because
group.
on a practical and economic level, they could be quite tricky,
Yeah. I mean, if you buy a tank and yeah, I mean,
which is not that difficult. I think it'd be
it
surprisingly easy.
it is surprisingly easy, but man, those things must guzzle
Oh
the
yeah,
gas. Surely, Jesus Christ. But and there isn't as much room in a real tank as there was in my dream tank. I think in my dream tank it was a lot larger and there were more people.
did you have a big turret?
Yeah. Big turret, lovely. But there was that there was that camaraderie and that group feel. Like I woke up and went,
Camaraderie.
that's what I want. I want
Yeah.
that. That's
Did
what I
you
want.
did you ever get it?
Yeah. So like, I've been in bands and all in like groups of friends. Like, and that's like, yeah, that's and
I
even this podcast and the little community around it,
yeah.
it's the same. It's the
Well,
same
it's
thing.
interesting you say that because I think being ADHD and having the ADHD neurodiverse community is the first time I've ever felt really. No, well, there was a time, it was only about for 18 months, max 2 years, that I had a work environment that I felt part of a team.
Right.
And I thought at the time that for years, I had the problem with when people talked about teamwork, I had a real problem with it because I think, and because it's partly true, that teamwork is a complete bag of shit. It's true though.
It
I mean,
depends on the team, to be honest.
yeah, I've rarely seen a good example, positive example of teamwork. It's something that people talk about, but it's mostly bullshit.
Honestly, mate, I've spent a lot of my entire career has been building teams
Right.
and working in teamwork, like copywriter. I want the art director, I want the graphic
Yeah.
designer, and I'll build a team. And it's when you get a really good team, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. But I've been, well, I was freelance a lot, which says a lot about me. I spent probably half of my career freelance and half of it in an agency situation,
Right.
and th- th- so I had the problem with not really having a bit of a problem being part of a team. Okay,
Hmm.
and the other part of it kind of it being kind of something that I desired at the same time. But I
Right.
did once have the teamwork, and I was responsible for the team at
There
that
we
point.
go. Right.
I was responsible for it.
Yeah.
Then the company, the agency, they changed the dynamic of the company, okay,
Right.
and they pitched our team against another team internally to increase the kind of results, to get
Yeah.
growth, and
Right.
it went really badly.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't work. That
They
is.
made a massive mistake, and I ended up leaving because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They literally pitched one internal team against the other with the idea
Right.
that, oh, this is a really good way of getting growth in the agency,
Ugh.
and it really backfired on them. But
Right. Because.
they wouldn't admit that it backfired. They just changed their ideas.
Mhm. I've got 5 hidden strengths of being
Oh,
an ultravert. If you're
okay, yeah, let's
interested.
do that.
One, you get unbiased perspective. So as
Yeah,
you say, you're an outsider. This is what I was saying earlier.
yeah,
That you are incredibly objective because you're not kind of part of that group thing. You're actually have a point of view that is outside of the
hmm,
of the group think. Yeah, all of that doesn't cloud your judgment, which I think you would agree.
yeah, totally.
And I think this is your other point: creative innovation. People who self-identify as outsiders may have more original ideas when you're
Hmm,
not bound by the group
totally.
conventions and the stuff around you.
Well, there are a lot of lone wolves in our industry, in the creative industry. A lot of lone wolves who are like creatives,
Yeah.
creative consultants,
Hmm.
and they didn't work in a team environment, but they kicked ass as freelancers,
Yeah.
being lone wolves. They bring them in on
Hmm.
specific special projects. Often there was a flip side to them. Often they weren't always the easiest people to deal with, but you always knew that they would deliver.
Well, come up with the goods.
They'd come up with the goods.
Right. Number 3, emotional resilience. You don't need external validation to
Mm,
feel stable, while others
that's a good
spiral
one.
when excluded or criticized. You remain steady. Your sense of self isn't tied to the group acceptance.
Low maintenance.
No maintenance.
Low maintenance.
Right. And you were saying about pattern recognition earlier. So
Yeah.
deep observation skills. You catch what others miss.
Yes.
Micro expressions, power dynamics, unspoken tensions. It's all visible because you're
Yeah.
kind of you're not so swayed by what is going
Yeah.
on.
But there was also an element of shaming that as well, because I remember, I think, I'm not sure if I've told you this story. Well, I've told to you this story. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it on the podcast before. But I remember once we were sent on all the management at the agency. We were sent on a team building course.
Oh God, I hate those. Jesus
Oh, it was
Christ.
a nightmare. It was a nightmare, and
Fucking
it
hell.
was a kind of what do they call it? Like a treasure hunt orienteering thing, and we're
Oh,
split up into like 4 groups. It was
right.
a nightmare, and right in the beginning, I don't know why it suddenly came out with a West Country accent like that, right? I don't know why that happened. Anyway, we were put into groups, okay, and then they briefed us on how the weekend was gonna pan out, how
Mm-hmm.
we would make points, how we would lose points as a
Mm-hmm.
group, okay, and how they were going to conclude at the end of the weekend. So as they were talking, this is where my um, autistic brain kicked in. They were talking and going through the rules, how we're going to make points and lose points, and it came to me instinctively, holy shit. So if we just go to the pub Okay, when this is finished, they're giving their brief. I'm going to go to my group and say, listen, guys, I've worked it out. If we don't do anything, we just go down to the pub and wait for everyone to do what they want to do and get exhausted and tired, maybe even dirty, fall in a ditch,
Maybe.
whatever. We just
Right.
go to the pub and chill out. We are most likely going to win.
Right.
So what did I do? I chickened out.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I just did what everyone else did. And then at the end of it, they said, ha ha, I bet no one realised that if you'd just gone down the pub and did nothing at all, you would have won. I put my hand up.
Right.
And I said, I understood that. And everyone looked at me. I felt like a piece of shit. Because everyone looked at me like, you bullshitter, Paul.
Right. Yeah.
I could feel it. They were like drilling their eyes into my head.
Right.
And they thought I was just bullshitting. And it's like, no, I really did think that.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the courage to say it.
Yeah.
Now, post-diagnosis of ADHD and self-diagnosed autistic, I would have said it.
Right.
Definitely.
Yep.
Which is a big thing. It's a nice conclusion to reach, to talking about it now.
Yeah. And then the fifth hidden strength of being an outrovert is authentic relationships. When you do connect with someone, it's real.
Right.
You don't do superficial friendships or performative relationships. Every connection you maintain has passed your high bar for authenticity.
Yes. So it talks here about empathy. So this kind of goes with this last point that you were making. There's a lot of people that know nothing about a neurodiversity. They could think, oh, neurodiverse people is basically Asperger's. So what does Asperger's mean? Asperger's means people that don't have empathy. And it's total bullshit.
Right.
It's absolute nonsense. That's why I think, as we talked about, I think last week, neurodiversity is going to splinter off into like 20 different names. I hope one day
it'll reshuffle.
It'll reshuffle, reconfigurate.
Probably will.
Turn back to factory settings.
Exactly.
So, okay, that's interesting. So, I've got here.
What else you got?
I've got here about hyperfocus as well.
Go on.
So, an ADHD brain can be driven by interest rather than importance. When forced into rigid collective structures, like a traditional classroom or a corporate hierarchy, an ADHD's tendency is to ignore mundane tasks in favour of their intense hyperfixations that can make them exclude classic, which can make them look like classic Otroverts who reject group expectations.
Right. Oh yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? In it.
Yeah. I would say that I don't. I do tend to be more of a either an ambivert or a or an extrovert. I don't tend to identify as strongly as you with outrovert. I will form a group, join a group, be in a group.
Yeah.
And then if the group wants to do this, then I'll go, okay, fine. All right, well, I'm just going to go with that. Like if I mean, like, if it's like, yeah, sure, all right, fine. I have no strong opinions, and I will generally bob along.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I would say that I do tend to pick my group people. So I'm already, so even when I'm talking about groups, I'm talking about groups of people that I really like and that I really have the same mindset,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like you. So like you're in
Yeah.
that group. So even though I'll say, well, I'll go along with groupthink, they're all people that I have curated, if you like.
Yes. Oh,
Anyway, so
massively. Oh, yeah. Oh, massively. Yeah. Mostly, I suspect, subconsciously grouped.
yes,
It's like you've been. What's the term in kind of cowboy, kind of Wild West?
herded,
Hustling,
hustled,
herding,
ra- ra-
um,
rounded up.
rounded up,
Yeah,
harangued. Yeah, in
yeah,
some way, you developed a kind of, a community.
yeah, yeah. Which is exactly what
And
ADHDville
I
is.
suspect part of that community is that you don't always have the same opinions, and
Right.
that's okay.
Yes.
That you can have opposing opinions and have a right old laugh about it.
Right old laugh. Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
oh, I could trust you, to trust me, to have different opinions, but explore it anyway without any
Right.
problems, without the risk of getting into arguments. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, because like when you're in the creative field, you will often, as I have many bazillion times, sat in a little room with
Oh,
ideas that
man.
are pinned up to the wall, right? And there's you and a bunch of other people, and you're trying to pick the ideas that you want to move forward with, and then
Yeah.
everyone has a different point of view, and
Yes.
you're all in that room and you're all hashing it out. And yes, it is okay to not agree with
Yeah.
the group, as long as you all come out of that room kind of going, okay, right, well, we know what we're doing. We're
You
doing,
know the direction.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, how many brainstorming meetings have you been in where, you had, well, this is quite niche. I realize, I'm quite realizing this might be very specifically my personal experience, where the boss of an agency was such a narcissist that a brainstorming wasn't a brainstorm at all. It was basically everyone agreeing to what the boss thought was a good idea because they were scared of losing their job.
yeah.
So everyone just agreed with the boss. The boss said, "I've got an idea. Let's just use emojis as the campaign."
Right,
Which is, I'm not joking. That is actually often what she would say. Let's use
right,
emojis. And I was sitting there thinking, "You bunch of wankers." Because this is all because you haven't got the courage to actually go against what the boss thought was a good idea, and no one was encouraged to come up with their own ideas except moi,
right,
who would say, "No, I don't think that works,
right,
and this is why I don't think it works, and this is my alternative idea. What do you think?"
right. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been in
Oh,
situations
okay.
like that, because generally you get to a point where everyone has a little bit of an ego. There is a little bit of
Right.
an ADHD, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking rebel this. I've got a great idea. I'm gonna punch it home. So yeah, it's generally I've generally had the opposite problem, which is there are too many people with ideas,
Right.
and and they're all fighting for them,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to kind of like sort through them all and have a rationale as to why this idea is better than that idea, and so that everyone's
Right.
like, okay, fine, all right, let's pick an let's
Right. But have you ever been in an agency situation when, they didn't really know what a good idea was, and
yeah, I mean,
some of the best ideas were not really considered because not because it wasn't the right ideas, because they just didn't know how to take it forward.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in plenty. Yeah, because like when you have like a younger team and you're like the creative director, and there's a young team and they're presenting you ideas,
Yeah,
and they're throwing stuff up on the wall.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you can go, right, well, yeah, I can see that there's a diamond in this idea that you haven't
yeah.
quite seen, but I can see it.
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, plenty. Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, that's what most of my day was that
Yeah,
kind of
right. Yeah.
But
Cool.
it's all
Cool.
right.
I've got though,
Yeah.
and I'm going to lead into this argument. No, I'm going to lead out of this argument with a dream, like you were talking about dreams before. A dream.
Was there a tank?
Rejected sensitive dysphoria, RSD.
Yeah.
There can be a sense of shame in not being part of a group, which I did experience to the point where I had a dream of which you were in the dream once,
Ooh.
where I was waiting for a bus and getting into a West Country accent again without any motive, right?
Yeah.
I was waiting for a bus, and then this big old double-decker bus came along. I got on it, didn't I?
Yeah.
And all of my friends were on it having a party, including you.
Having a great time.
Having a great time. I didn't get invited, did I? I didn't get invited. Oh, what the fuck?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're here now.
Now?
I mean, we stopped for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's so nice of you.
You could have just kept going.
There's Paul. Hello, Paul.
See,
anyway.
There you go. See, in the dream, we stopped for you and you got on.
Yes.
Right? How much worse would the dream have been if you're standing there by the side of the road and then the bus just went past you? You went, hang on a second. What?
And everyone having a wild time hanging out the windows.
Yeah. Going, hey, Paul, hey, bye. And you're like, what the fuck?
Orgies on the top deck.
Oh, yes, mate. Yep.
Don't know why that came to mind. Anyway, we'll let that pass by.
Why not?
Should we go to the takeaway?
Yeah, let's go to the takeaway.
Takeaway I've got here is, while mainstream psychology views Otrovertism as a freshly proposed personality archetype for a specific way of moving through the communal world, many in the ADHD world see it as an eloquent description of what it feels like to navigate life with a neurodivergent brain, especially those who feel they are highly verbal, socially engaged, and undiagnosed.
Right, because if you have that, if you say that all the neurotypical people are in one group, right?
Yeah.
And that's the group, and you sit outside of that, and you feel like you're outside of that, then yeah, that makes sense. I jive with that.
Yeah, but it says here, especially if you're undiagnosed, because I remember before I was diagnosed, I think, well, do I fit in with the ADHD label? Because I've got this and I've got that, and sometimes I'm really sociable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now undiagnosed autistic, right?
Yeah.
And there's many things that don't fit, and there's a bunch of things that do.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. A lot.
Right.
So I don't fit into a neat definition of either ADHD or autism, but I'm clearly both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone really falls into really neat.
Right. That's the point, isn't it? So it's good that this bloke, what's his name, Martin? Remind me.
Oh,
this bloke.
Look, I've clicked off the tab now. So
I've got it. Dr. Rami Kaminsky last year.
Right.
Okay. It's good. It gives me heart. And I'm really glad that there are people out there that they're actually exploring alternative ideas. That's good.
Yeah. let's keep
It's a
on
good
moving
thing.
forward. All right.
Yeah.
So, shall we rate it?
Shall we rate it?
Let's
Oh,
have an attempt.
this is fun.
All right.
Oh,
Anyway,
blimey.
here we go. So,
Dopamine hit.
while you're thinking, here come the banjos.
Oh,
Is it a dopamine hit or is it a burnout thing? Yeah.
very nice.
Otrovertism. Is it a dopamine hit?
Yeah,
Is it a dopamine hit knowing that you
that it
fall in
exists.
that it exists?
It is a big one.
It's
For me, it
helpful.
is. It's a big one. I rate it quite high because I'm really glad, as I just said, that people are looking at, oh, you're not black and you're not white. I like that. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that makes me feel happy.
Right. That there's other options.
And people that are potentially undiagnosed because of that. Because, oh, I don't fit into a nice, clean definition. And it's like, oh, but there's this other guy that says that I don't have to be, fit into a nice, clean definition. So I might go for a diagnosis. That's good, isn't it?
That is good.
Yeah.
All
So I'm
right.
going to give it around 9.2.5.
Oh, very, very high. I'm going to give it from personally, I think I'll give myself a 8. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. It is definitely, like the more, as you say, the more we look at ourselves and our behaviors and who we are, and the better understanding that we have of ourselves and those around us.
Yeah. And the more we accept ourselves as an open church,
Mm-hmm.
An open church, is that the expression?
I have no idea, mate, but I know what you mean.
A broad church.
A broad church.
A broad church that welcomes anyone, that even if you don't fit into a nice, clean definition. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That would be a church that
It's broad.
that is abroad somewhere. So maybe Spain or France.
Or in Asia, that's really abroad.
Somewhere on the continent. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
Burnout.
Yeah.
What's your burnout score, Martin?
I mean, what? If I'm applying the same criteria, i.e., do I get sapped by having this understanding or this other way of being? I mean, no. I think it's generally a good thing, right? I mean, yes. There are downsides to altruism,
Yes.
Otro, because for things like if you never really feel like you're in a group or don't want to be in a group, the world is full of groups, right?
Yes.
So that kind of like always puts you on the outside of everything, which is not always a good place to be. It can feel lonely. You can be
liberating.
Yeah. So
for some people, it can be really liberating. They've been fighting against that concept, especially if you're really, really late diagnosed, like us.
Right.
Even much people diagnosed in their 80s, they've always felt some kind of level of guilt that they weren't part of they didn't really fit into a team or to a community. The liberation, to give themselves a break finally of being okay with being introverted.
Yeah, I think one of the other downsides would be that your career or your job opportunities are restricted or less.
Yes.
Because having that thing of like that tribalism or that kind of like being in a group and being in a group is that there's a lot of that out in the world, like corporate culture and I mean all kinds of workplace in environments. They're all these groups and bubbles.
I work better as a freelancer,
right?
Because if I often went I used to work with a freelance agency in London, and they would give me like a 2-week contract. And I'd end up staying there for 6 months because I'm good at my job, right? And they wanted me to stay on. But that's when, after 6 months, the kind of politics would creep in, and the
Right.
gossip, and you get like sucked into it. And
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Oh, ciao, I'm going. I'm out. Ciao, bye, bye. I'm going now. Thank you very much."
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
All right. So burnout score. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
It's
give it
low, isn't it?
low. I'm gonna give it like a 3.1.
I'm gonna match you.
All right. Exactly.
3.1. Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant. There we go. All right. So I think the general thing that comes out of that is that it is better to kind of have a better understanding of
Yeah.
yourself. Generally, it
That is
just helps.
potentially liberating.
Right. All right. Well, let's jump in the tractor and we'll make our way over to Alexandra's haunted inn.
Yeah.
Get back in. Oh, there we go. Starts like a charm.
Freshly buffed. You can almost the sound almost sounds freshly buffed.
Yeah. You can really hear the shine
Right.
in that four-stroke engine.
Right. It's almost, the shine is almost deafening. Right. I like that. That sounds like a David Bowie lyric.
Right.
The shine was almost deafening. Anyway, this is the bit of the podcast where I say that your podcast, no, that your feedback is vital to us. And we read all of your comments. We do, and we might read out some of your comments on our future podcast, like this one that Martin's going to tell you about.
Oh, am I? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alexandra's left a note. So about last week's episode, which was about summer vacations.
Yes.
Oh boy, she says here, Paul is the same. Hang on.
She said, "Here, Paul, it's the same.
Oh, right.
Here, Paul, in Greece. She lives in Greece. It's the same. They have long summer holidays from June to almost mid-September, and for her, it was like her time to recharge as a fellow ADHD. And then she makes a really good point here, Martin, about the fact that awful moments, like, oh, when it gets towards the end of the summer, maybe you're coming back from holiday, that's when you start thinking, oh, I've got to go back to fitting in again, to being neurotypical.
Oh yeah.
Or go back to school.
Starting school again.
Oh man, but I've got to fit in again.
Although, you know what, there was something exciting about the first day back because you kind of got to see your friends again, but it soon got just that you just lost that fun of that first.
After about half a day, that was gone.
You're like, oh god, here we go, maths.
Homework. They started giving you homeworks, stuff like that.
Right.
Okay. She used to spend time with her grandparents, apparently. And starting school for Alexandra was always a nightmare. Then she talks about cruises. She didn't like cruises, but she likes the idea of sailing, which is a nice, interesting point about if you're neurodiverse, sailing is a great way of detaching your mind.
Well, yeah, because you
can only do certain things.
Yeah, you have to really focus on the wind and the sails.
The wind.
Right, and all of that. I used to sail.
Did you?
A bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because
sail away.
Because I mean, like I was in the Sea Scouts, so like Cubs and Scouts. I was in the Sea Scouts, so we're talking about being in groups. That was one of the groups that I was in.
All right. And I was in the Cubs.
Right, and as we were in the Sea Scouts, we had we did a lot of sailing and canoeing and that kind of water-based activities.
Yeah, no, I was in the Cubs, but I got thrown out of the Cubs.
Oh, what, for drugs? What?
No, because they said, Paul, you only come when there's a buffet.
Come on.
Really, though? Only
Really?
when there was free food. And they cottoned onto it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're bored.
You just come for the
I got thrown
sausage
out
rolls.
of the Cub Scouts.
Oh, it's amazing. I love that. All right. So, all right. Do we have time for a quiz?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
not?
Oh no, we've used up quite a lot of time. Maybe not.
All right. Maybe not. All right.
Maybe not.
We will skip the quiz. So just to remind ourselves that it's currently 6 apiece, and we will pick that up.
6 apiece. Well, we're going to pick it up in because I'm having a break. I'm having a pause.
Right. So this is the big news, which is ADHDville, as it currently is going to take a break.
Yes.
Until till the beginning of September.
Yeah.
While Paul goes and puts his speedos on and
a mankini.
Yeah, and does Italian things.
I've not had a break from doing an ADHD podcast for 3 years.
There we go.
But it also coincides with my diagnosis. So, just a little break from thinking about ADHD.
Right. So that there will be no regular ADHDville podcast until beginning of September. But fear not, I will attempt to do a little fill-in, half an hour summer special every week, just to kind of like, just going to keep us like ticking along.
Right. Okay.
Until Paul comes back. Now, my thought is that I will read bits out from the ADHDville Gazette newspaper.
Oh, nice.
Is
it a bit like the proverbial storage of jam? Every now and again, you go into the pantry and turn the jams over.
Right. Well, actually, I do that with peanut butter, which is
you make your own peanut butter.
No, because the peanut butter that we buy is like a more natural one. So you end up with this oil that sits on the top. So basically, I buy it and you turn it upside down. And it's like that for like a week or two, and you keep turning it around upside down.
Okay.
Right way up, and then the oil mixes in.
All right. Okay.
Eventually, I mean, it takes a few months.
Yeah, clearly. Okay. Cool.
But anyway, if you want your regular dose of Paul, you can skip the next 2 months and then just rejoin us back in September, or
alternatively,
you can keep me company while I just I don't know, somehow
turn the jams over, or the peanut butter.
Right, just muck my way through the next couple of weeks.
Okay, lovely.
With some random shit.
Okay. Okay. Random sounds good.
I know.
It's a choice.
It is. All right. So until the end of September, till the beginning of September, that'll be it from Paul and I as in our regular scheduled podcast. But it will remain so that ADHDville will be delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to the pod and rate us most introverted, extroverted, otroverted,
and anywhere in between.
Perverted. I can't believe that I only just thought of that right at the end.
That's good, mate.
Yeah,
that means that it was instinctive.
It was.
Which is even better.
Right, and you can feel free to correspond at will in the comments. But wait, there's more. If you wish to see our beautiful faces,
hello,
then you can sally forth to the YouTubes and the TikToks, and you can also pick up a quill and email us at ADHDville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I say to you, I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, fare thee well with gladness of heart.
There, says the mayor. That's that.
Oh wow! Look, we just made it right to the end.
Oh, look at that. Okay, we almost had time for the quiz, but never mind. I'll save it for December. No, September.
Right.
It was a good quiz as well. It was an interesting one.
Okay, well,
but it's kind of leaving it at 6-all. The quiz. It's kind of leaving it, a
cliffhanger. Right. All right. Well, I'll see you again, mate.
See you again in a couple of months.
In a couple of months. Have a good summer.
Yeah, I will. I will actually.
And we'll catch up then.
Lovely. Okay. Ciao for now.
Bye.